Oh god, that beeping is still haunting me. I booted up the game to record today, and the first thing I hear is that slightly, muted beeping noise, and I'm already just having flashbacks to last episode because it's so distracting. Let's get the heck moving here, guys. Welcome! It's Trails in the Sky, second chapter. We are here outside Leiston Fortress, having set up the third of all three septium vein disturbance measuring doohickey majiggers that we're gonna use to try and track down how Ouroboros is causing the earthquakes, right? That's what the goal has been here. Now, we're probably gonna move on. So last time we got the business on that whole assignment, setting up the three things all over Zeiss. It was quite a delightful romp. We had a little story building, background building moment at the Menhirs in the Trat Plains, where we just fought some sheep again. And we bumped into a lot of old faces. In Caldia Tunnel, we bumped into Annalise and the Agate. Wow, poor Agate, I keep forgetting his name. Coming to cross paths with them because they were on their way investigating their lead on Ouroboros, so that was delightful, catching up with them. And over there outside Leiston Fortress, we actually met up with the good Mr. Bright, as in Cassius Bright, Estelle's dad. Was very nice catching up with him as well. So that was a real nice little... Not a lot of story forward progress. I assume that's going to be happening now when we return to Zeiss to report in on the setup of the scanners. But it was just nice. The nice kind of fuzzy character moments that you expect from these Trails games by now. Well, we were not hit by a surprise cutscene on the way to the guild house. I kind of was half bracing for that, which is why I, didn't, fast travel over here between recording sessions. I was kind of, trying to second guess the game, but this time I was wrong. So do we talk or report, I wonder? Can we just report? No, reporting is just the side quests. Got it. Let's talk. Oh, shoot! Right, sorry, I forgot. We're not supposed to come in here to report in. Thank you. We're supposed to go to the operations room and use their supercomputer, the Capel, to scan, or to collate the data being sent by the scanners. That's right. My bad. But I'm glad that the game had a very, Colonel Campbell in Metal Gear Solid telling you where to go kind of moment. By talking to Kilika, she gave you advice on what your next move should be. So, nice, Very quickly recovered on that little mistake. There we go, there's that cutscene I'm looking for. Professor Russell, we're connected to the first unit and are receiving telemetry now.
Yes, I see. Good, the connection is perfect. And even better, it looks like things are rock solid. Secure our connections to the other two units at once.
Understood, Professor. Is that guy standing there, by the way? We haven't met the foreman yet on our return to Zeiss. So could that be him? I've been kind of anticipating him a little bit. He wasn't my favorite character, but he was an alright, little side character to interact with. So, it's been conspicuously absent thus far, so, I don't know. I think they know we succeeded already. It seems so. Goodness, but this entire room never fails to take my breath away. It is him, Factory Chief Murdoch. Yeah, nice. Very glad to see this guy again.
Oh, Estelle, hello.
Oh, Mr. Murdoch. Hi. It's been a while. We last met at the birthday celebrations, right? I wonder if you could track Murdoch down in the factory building if you wanted to talk to him beforehand, and I wonder if that would change this dialogue here. Because he's got an office somewhere around here. I seem to recall that the cigar quest took us there, or was it just cigarettes? The tobacco quest, side quest, took us into his office, I think, is my memory. So, you know. Anyway.
Yes, it certainly has been a while. From what I hear, you've been through a lot. I'm glad to see you're well.
Well, thanks, Mr. Murdoch. Anyway, we've got the measuring devices set up like the professor asked.
Yes, we saw. We've got data pouring in from them already.
So the Capel is already running?
Hey, Professor Russell's running some sort of program to sort the data now, in fact.
Connections to second and third units, stable. Excellent. That's all three then. Now let me see. Good, good. Both of them are still as a pond. And we have links to all three units. Excellent. Ah, everyone. Wasn't expecting you back this quickly. As you can see, thanks to you, we're getting all the data we need. Good work, you four.
Well, really, all we did was carry the instrument bits. Besides, Professor, you're the one doing us a favor. You don't need to thank us. If you want to thank anyone, thank Tita. We couldn't have done this without her.
What? Oh, no. I didn't do anything special.
No, you did very well. Even the transmitters are perfect. The signal we are receiving is marvelous.
Well, yay. So, we're all set up now, right, Grandpa? Can I do anything else to help?
No, we are as prepared as we can be, I think. I've programmed the Capel to begin analysis automatically if a disturbance is detected in the septium phase. Now we just wait for an earthquake again.
Ooh, that's a little risky though, cause they're supposed to be getting worse and worse, the earthquakes. I was kinda hoping we'd get like an early warning system propped up, you know? So we've pretty much hurried up to wait. I don't know if I could stay calm just waiting for an earthquake to strike Zeiss again.
Oh, I know what you mean. What if another earthquake hits the city directly? It's chilling.
Do we have a plan in case that happens?
We've secured and locked down the factory for an earthquake. Even so, if the next earthquake gets much stronger, it'll be hard for us. At the very least, I can't imagine we'll avoid property damage.
Unfortunately, the Capel here is the same. Strong enough vibrations could damage it, causing errors and making our experiment fail. So a prayer or three to the goddess wouldn't go amiss, everyone.
A man of science still being so faithful, huh? Interesting. Ooh, I thought I was nervous before.
So, even the most advanced technology still needs the blessing of Idios?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Yeah, once again, this game.
Engineers can be really faithful, you know. I pray to the goddess a lot when I'm working really hard on something.
She does have a point. I remember when Professor Russell was developing the first orbital airship. I was going to church 3 times a day.
You could have had a little faith in something other than the goddess, Chief Murdoch.
After 39 failed experiments, could you blame me?
They've always been like this, haven't they?
I think they have, yeah.
Either way, it seems we have quite a bit of time on our hands. Unless an earthquake was to hit us right now! Oh, okay. I thought this game was going for dramatic irony. Nope. It wouldn't hurt to return to the guild house briefly and report in.
Yes, go on ahead. We'll contact the guild should anything happen.
What does caution mean on the computer screen? Out of curiosity. Well, looks like I was only slightly off by my dramatic irony thing there, but there we go. Huh?
Eee! Earthquake! Seems we don't have that much time to kill after all. All three instruments are reporting changes. The septium veins appear to be active. Continue monitoring. Don't take your eyes off them for a second. If the signals are interrupted, report immediately. Yes, sir. Now, let's see. Data still coming in from all three instruments. Given the direction the seismic waves are headed, the origin point of the Temblor, coordinates are 12.73, 378.02. Oh, very interesting.
What do you mean?
We know where that earthquake's epicenter is. It's right here!
And then the room just starts shaking. Oh, no. Oh! That's also bad. Wait a second. In fact, that seems very on purpose if Ouroboros wanted to mess with the military, you know?
It's Leichten Fortress.
What? Dad! What? Are you sure? Oh gosh, oh no, we have to actually see how this goes down. What the?
We're under attack!
Alright, there's that amazing liberal military discipline, huh?
Calm down! It's just an earthquake! Hold your lines! Stay in position!
General Cassius, you...
It seems I was right. Ordering a work stoppage at the port was the right idea. Oh no, what was the voice I did for General Morgan?
He was a very no-nonsense tough guy, right? I don't know. What was the voice I did for him? Something like this?
Sadly, I don't remember this one character. I can't remember. He never showed up a lot after a certain point in the narrative of first chapter. Like, he was talked about a lot because they, like, arrested him as part of the coup. But, like, I don't remember him popping up very much.
I'm just gonna go with generic, imposing voice like this for now, okay? Incredible. I didn't actually think there would be an earthquake as you predicted. Cassius, just what kind of magic did you use?
What magic? It's just logic, Morgan. The logic of our foes' desires. After 3 rehearsals, it was simply a question of what made the most tempting target. That makes a lot of sense, yeah, if they wanted to strike the military, yeah.
Chief, we've received word from Leichten Fortress. They've suffered a fairly large earthquake.
We were right.
What happened? Is anyone hurt?
Thankfully, there don't seem to be any injuries. I think they mentioned they prepared in advance.
Oh, thank the goddess.
Ha! That's Cassius, all right. The man has the danger sense of a fox.
Oh. Calculation completed? Ooh. Calculation completed? What does that mean?
Now then, the Capelle should have the results for us.
Professor Russell checked the displayed analysis results.
So, let's see. Oh, this is interesting.
What is it, Professor? Did we learn something?
I do believe we have. According to this, the flows along the septium veins were altered significantly prior to the earthquake. The unusual flows gathered beneath a single location, apparently. Since it occurred quite close to the surface, it had little effect beyond the immediate area.
That would mean... Oh. Hang on a second. You're saying someone's controlling septium veins in order to generate earthquakes on purpose? That's kind of what we were already assuming, like half assuming that, because we assumed that Ouroboros was behind this. So, I don't know why it's... I mean, I guess just like when you spell it out like that, it does sound like black magic, so I guess you have to kind of be like, what the what? So it's literally an earthquake weapon? That's horrific.
You have the right of it. A weapon that can cause earthquakes anywhere with septium veins.
But Grandpa, controlling septium veins, is that even possible?
It's very well... It's well beyond the capabilities of any earth-moving technology I'm aware of.
I agree. However, we cannot deny the evidence in front of us. Someone has made it possible.
Well, tough for them. Professor, can you use the data to figure out where the weapon is? If you can, we'll go stop it.
Yeah!
That's the spirit.
Perhaps I can. Right. Pull back the data at the start of the disturbance. Now, in what direction does the flow disturbance begin? I have it. 165.88 by minus 228 by 35.
Huh?
Tita, do you know where that is?
I think so.
Tita pulled out the map.
The coordinates are Selge from Zeiss's center, so... If east 12 Selge, north 378 is Leisten Fortress...
Wait, hold on. Is Zeiss somehow the coordinate center? Like, the point where the equator and the prime meridian meet is Zeiss? Or is just a Zeiss pinpointed coordinate system? Let's go with the latter, because I find that extremely unlikely that Zeiss is, quote-unquote, the center of the world. Where is the actual center of the world, now that I think about it? The prime meridian goes, like... Hold on. That goes through, like... England, right? Because I think Greenwich is on it. So it, like, cuts down from England, and the equator, you know... I guess it's somewhere in the African Gulf. On West Africa, I guess, was where those cross. Huh. I'm surprised I've never looked at a map and tried to figure out where 0.0 is, coordinates-wise. Interesting.
East 165 Selge, south minus 228 Selge would be...
Okay, so east, a lot more from Zeiss. Okay, hold on. East from Zeiss and south. Well, there's only one area which is dramatically south from Zeiss, right? And wasn't I talking at some point that we might be going to Elmo because there's that triangle symbol there for an area to, explore? Well, I guess Erletten also has that triangle now that I look at it. Huh. Anyway, I'm pretty sure we're going to Elmo Village, right? It's east and south from Zeiss, dramatically on both counts. Like... I think Carnelia and Wolford would be somewhere close to 0, right? If I understood this correctly. So, let's see what it says.
Yeah, I think it'd be about here.
What?
Well, it's hiding in plain sight, I suppose. It's exactly on that triangle I was talking about.
Elmo Village? So the origin of the disturbances is somewhere near the hot springs, then?
I can't say for certain, but it seems likely. So, what do you plan to do?
Isn't it obvious? We're gonna go check it out right now! Yes, we need to hurry.
Indeed. So, Tita, go with them. They will need your knowledge and technical skill in their investigation.
Oh, okay. I'll do everything I can to help. I promise.
Well, this might be kind of dangerous. On the other hand, Tita will be a big help, so I sure can't say no. I agree. Tita, be careful, okay?
I will.
I'll contact Elmo ahead of you. I'm sure Mrs. Mao will be glad to help your investigation.
Thanks, Mr. Murdoch.
Hazel, get Mrs. Mao at the Elmo Inn on the line at once.
Yes, sir.
I'll remain here and continue to analyze the data we're getting using the Capelle. If I discover anything, I'll contact Elmo at once.
Thanks, Professor. If we find anything, we'll call you right away.
Excellent. Good luck, everyone.
Let's get to Elmo at once, then. Hoo boy. Alright, the game is afoot. I suppose we'll have an entire dungeon to crawl around in Elmo, I'm gonna guess. I don't know, the triangle implies like an area to explore, so yeah.
You all should hurry to Elmo. I'll continue analysis here. If I find anything out, I'll contact the inn.
Yep, let's go, on the double. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I have this memory I was talking about, like that area marked near Elmo at some point. So, you know, I'm not super mega shocked by this twist. It's nice that we dropped in by Elmo already once with the side quest. Kind of, you know, it'd feel like a bit rushed if we went to Elmo right now, you know, to just like, you know, for the first time after first chapter now. So I'm glad I went there first. Let's see what Killiga's got to say.
I heard you're heading to Elmo.
Wow, you really do know everything, Killiga.
Hazel contacted me to target Leiston Fortress. Whoever is responsible doesn't have a lot of common sense. Be very careful as you go.
Yes, we'll stay alert.
That is all. Now, hurry.
Yeah, we're off. Now, let's see. I can't help myself, though. We gotta have a look. Okay, I'm also not actually super surprised by this. Feels like this is like really urgent, this point in the story, so I'm glad that for this part they didn't chuck another side quest for us to do. Like, that would have distracted a little bit from everything. Now, the one thing I'm still thinking, we have had Chloe in the party for a while.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good day. Do you have some business with me? I see. You need the power of my genius. Not to worry, I understand entirely.
And he is a level behind Olivier from Chloe. Yeah, I'm like, should I swap in Olivier? Here's kind of the thing, though. Two things I'm thinking here. One, I'm kind of locked in with Chloe at the moment, with like she's kind of been part of all the events here in Zeiss now. So narratively, I kind of want to have her here for this. Two, Olivier was already kind of central to the climax of the last chapter when his rivalry with LeBlanc started. So I'm guessing since you could choose between these two... There we go. Since we're choosing between these two, you know, it's not going to be Chloe, who is the rival of the character. We're going to be... Why is it so dusty here, by the way? Look at that dust cloud. Ooh, they should really sweep around here. That's a weird detail. Does that happen everywhere? It kind of does. I've just never noticed that before. That's so weird. Yeah, anyway. Sorry, my brain's cutting here. I don't think Chloe's gonna be the, you know, connection character. It'll probably be Tita, since she's a mandatory character, you know, all things considered. if we're going with every character gets an Ouroboros rival, it's probably going to be Tita then as the mandatory character. But still, after, Olivier getting a lot of focus at the end of last chapter, I think I won't have him here for, the rest of this. This is very atypical of me, I admit, because, part of me really does say that I should bring in Olivier and level him up for a change. I don't know how much residual XP our benched party members are getting, if any at all. I think they are, because I don't think Olivier was level 48 when we last had him in the party. But, still, technically I should have swapped him in to have him be level up instead of Chloe for a bit. But, again, the reasons I outlined just now, I think I'd rather have Olivier sit this one out. I'll bring him into the party in some capacity for the next chapter. I'll make that promise right now, so don't worry, everybody. I do also admit, as you may recall, Chloe is my favorite character. She was my favorite character in first chapter. I'm still judging who's going to be my favorite character here in second chapter, but Chloe still is a giant, giant heartthrob for yours truly. So I do not mind having Chloe in the party instead of Olivier for that reason. That is perhaps a little selfish of me, but maybe sometimes I'm allowed to be a little selfish and just have my favorite character in the party instead of, giving coverage to everybody. But like I said, I'll bring in Olivier later on when we're doing something else, somewhere else than Zeiss. Okay? Okay. Anyway, an old woman's voice. Okay, I'm glad they said old woman's voice, so I know who this is going to be, basically, so I don't need to worry about the voice this time when they're off screen. Ah, good, you're here.
Mrs. Mao!
We've already bumped into once. I wonder if the dialogue's any different. Oh, it is, kind. Well, actually, she could have said hello again based on our visit from first chapter, I suppose. Whatever, we'll see how this goes.
Hello again. Murdoch called ahead of you lot, told me what's happening. There have been earthquakes all over the region, eh? Odd.
Odd nothing. This whole thing is bizarre, but maybe you can help us.
Actually, I'd like to turn that around. I was about to contact the guild anyway. Something strange happened just a few hours ago.
What? An earthquake hit here too?
I almost wish. An earthquake might be less destructive. Well, picture's worth 1,000 words, eh? Come see for yourself.
Uh-oh, what the heck could be worse than an earthquake? It's the hot springs going nuts. Yeah, that makes sense for this place that relies on hot spring tourism. In fact, I was actually prepped for this to be like the hot springs have drained, That would be a catastrophe if, the hot springs had suddenly just, disappeared, Them overheating is also a problem. I would not want to take a dip in that right now, but, I think we can fix this easier, maybe? I don't know. Why don't we just drop a big ice cube in there, you guys? Ooh. What in the...
The springs are boiling over!
This really is bizarre. The water isn't supposed to get this hot.
Believe me, I'd like to know what's going on here, too. Right after I got off the phone with Murdoch, I heard a big fuss out here. I came out to see what was going on and found this. Maybe the pump is broken somehow? It might be emitting heat or... Wait, no, it couldn't heat all this water. No, the pump's working just fine. I checked it a second ago. The way I see it, something at the source of the springs must have changed.
So, I'm guessing temperature changes like this aren't too common?
It's never happened while I've been here, and I've been here half a century. It's worrying, to say the least.
To be honest, this may have something to do with the earthquakes. If something is stimulating the septium veins, might that heat the water further?
That's really likely, actually. And if the water keeps getting hotter, the springs will be too dangerous to live near.
Like heck, we'll let that happen. Come on, let's go find the problem. Mrs. Mao, where exactly is the source for the springs? Would you mind if we investigated the problem?
Well, I thought you might ask that, so I fished this out of the back of a drawer. Go on, take it.
Estelle received the wooden gate key.
A key? It's the key to the wooden gate near the pump shed. The cave down to the source of the springs is that away.
Sweet! Thanks, Mrs. Mao.
I didn't know there was a cave like that.
You're always so on the ball, Mrs. Mao. Thank you.
Oh, don't worry. We're the ones asking you for a favor after all. I can't well let the customers boil themselves like eggs, and we can't even use our water for washing. I'm counting on you all to get to the bottom of this.
You can bet we will. Righto, let's get on it then. The other nice thing is we were already in Elmo, so we've taken care of checking all the shops and buying up stuff and everything. Like, we're good. I guess I could check my supplies real quick. I haven't done that in a while. Could be worth it. Been just running from place to place. So I'll have a quick look at that, but otherwise we're going to be good to go in a bit.
Well, wait. We will be entering a cave we know little about to investigate the temperature increase and the earthquakes. I think it'd be wise to make absolutely sure we're prepared before we go in.
Nice. Even Chloe's like, have you remembered to check your supplies? Yes, I suspect we might find a certain sunglasses-wearing gentleman inside. We should be on our guard and prepare accordingly. Okie dokie. Games like, are you ready for this, sucker? I'm not sure. I don't know, the old schoolhouse and the whole Bleu Blanc dungeon went alright in the end. The Stormbringer was actually not that terrible as a fight, so, I think we'll be okay, but let's make sure we are good with all of this. Wow, Bear Claw is really cheap here, interesting. Much cheaper than the tricolor rice over here. We're good with aged miso and vintage wine, that's good. Ooh, I will buy 1 egg from you. Un œuf. I had to think for a second, like, what is a egg in French? It is un œuf. Ooh, well, we need a lot of these. Okay, hold on. You know what I'm gonna do, by the way? I'm gonna try and remember now. If we get to kind of an obvious, like, rest before a boss spot, I'm gonna synthesize a few healing items ready to go before the trip down there, okay? That's probably the smart thing to do. So, because I should be way smarter about using these items, so I will try to be a clever lad for once in my life, once we get to that point. But, yeah. Right, man, so much stuff for that tea. That's good tea. Including this royal leaf, good lord. 40 times 20 is like 800, I think. Yes. I don't know why I said I think, like I should have trusted my math on that one. Oh, need some white whiff. White whiff. Alright, that's all. Sick.